what I did here was I'm using the two major plugins that I'm using inside Reaper to do all this mapping out and to create as a clip launcher is Playtime right here by Hugo Boss, an amazing creator, developer that works with Reaper. And the other one is the ReaLearn. Also, I think Hugo Boss has some things to do with this well, right? And this ReaLearn is basically a super powerful MIDI control center, and mostly I just use it as a clip launcher. And also as a way to do effects bypassing a lot of stuff on the fly that you can do live performance, right? So one thing you have to get used to with using Reaper as opposed to the environment of something like Live, right? Reaper is always a left to right arrangement environment. It doesn't have a session view or a scene view. It only has an arrangement view. And sometimes that's kind of hard to wrap your mind around. I know that Logic, with competing with or competing with Live, have created this kind of grid system view that they have. Spent a lot of time on the UI with that. I messed around with it, and I definitely think there's a lot of possibility with that. But since I've been doing a lot of stuff in Reaper, and I like its customizability, I decided to kind of do a deep dive in here. And so the next few parts here, I'm going to first of all start off with like what I did with Playtime, and then I'll talk about how I could create several instances of Playtime and actually ignore and disable certain instances of Playtime that I can use throughout. Excuse me, throughout the live show. I'm so sorry about that. Because I'll have at least 5 instances of Playtime that will be used as a clip to launch the clips. As a place for the clips, what you would call more like scenes. So if you take a look here, I have these several scenes. Now, these are all tied to tracks. Okay. Now, this is not much different than Ableton Live. A lot of you probably noticed, this is very similar to their scene setup. And it just doesn't have it in a scene view. So if you're to do this in a live session in Ableton Live and you go to arrangement, when you launch these clips, you're going to see them show up there anyway. So you just see everything all in one window with Reaper, right? So I'm going to go into a little more detail here in a moment about how I went about doing this, and also how I used ReaLearn Clip Launcher.